Hey everybody, and thank you for watching TonesTube, where we make regular videos for regular people. Today what I wanted to talk about is life. We call this one the quarantoning edition. So if you're at home and you're quarantining and you're also watching TonesTube, then you must be quarantoning, right? Welcome to episode 8. The latest update in the coronavirus crisis is that there is, in New York City, over 100,000 cases. There's also over 2,900 occurrences of death. This is really morbid and crappy to talk about, but it's pretty much what I've been talking about since day one. And as you can see from episode 1, it just keeps escalating and escalating and escalating. Now, the kind of good news is, even though it says that the surge of the past day was over 600 deaths, that it seems like we're peaking. And you know, I know there's also concern for Long Island healthcare systems because there's a lot of cases in Long Island. The concern is that the healthcare system is not as elaborate as the New York City healthcare systems. It is definitely concerning and something that causes worry in my mind anyway, especially being that I live in Long Island. This thing continues to really concern me. It's concerning to everyone. Obviously, it's pretty much changed life as we know it. Society will never be the same. Things will never be the same. Vaccine or no vaccine, going to movie theaters, going to concerts, going to baseball games, going to anywhere where there's going to be heads involved, like a lot of heads anyway, is definitely going to be something where you're going to be looking over your shoulder with a mask, without a mask. I don't know what that means for the future of our lives. You know, our lives have been affected from this point on. I know it's depressing to talk about. I kind of... you know, I don't really want to get too into it, but I'm sure I will keep getting into it more and more as we keep going with these quarantoning editions. It definitely has changed life as we know it in society in the year 2020. The year 2020, it sounds like a futuristic time where the world could, would, or should end. It sounds like a year or a time where something crazy could happen. I don't know much about the Bible and Bible verses, but I do know that, you know, there could, would, or should be some sort of supernatural... That was weird. Something else involved here, you know, where the world's going to end kind of thing. Apocalypse, apocalyptic. I don't know. I'm probably getting too deep, but, you know, it's definitely concerning. You know, it's being compared to the Spanish flu, influenza, things like that, where millions and millions were killed. Were distinct. Died from a flu epidemic, pandemic, epidermic, whatever you want to call it. So now that we got the morbid stuff out of the way, let's talk about our product of the day, because I know that's what you guys are waiting for. I know that's what I'm waiting for, because this stuff is type depressing. What I wanted to talk about today was my favorite, something that's near and dear to my heart, near and dear, called beer. I got some of my faves here today for y'all, and you know, in general, TonesTube has been talking about beer since day one. It's definitely something that's near and dear to my heart. I love my beer. I talked about the sub-compact system made by Krups, and a company called Hopsy distributes the beer. But I did want to talk about some of my faves that you could probably find in your grocery store today. That is, if the shelves are not empty. I got some of my faves. I got my Montauk Session IPA. I got my Blue Point Toasted Lager. And, man, I like this one so much. I already started drinking this guy, and I couldn't wait for this video. So, my Sam 76 is one of my faves. Now, let me get a little bit into detail about some of my beers here and give you some thumbnail action. When I say thumbnail, y'all say action. Thumbnail. Thumbnail. When I say drum roll, y'all say please. Drum roll. Drum roll. Anyway, let's get back into our beer video and give y'all some thumbnail action. Open my Montauk Session, but I'm gonna, so I can give y'all some thumbnail action. I might even mess with this one today. Montauk makes very good beer. Now, let me tell you something about beer, guys. Speaking of Long Island not having good healthcare systems, I'll tell you what Long Island does have a lot of. That's breweries. Montauk is a Long Island brewery, and so is Blue Point. That one is located in Blue Point near Stony Brook, a little bit further out in LI. And then obviously you have Montauk, which is located at the end, they call it. So both beautiful places to visit, both amazing places in LI, and even more importantly, some awesome beer is made from these guys. So let's give y'all some thumbnail action. Thumbnail action. I got my Blue Point Toasted and my Sam 76. Ha! Thumbnail action. Blue Point, Sam 76. I love my beer. I love my beer. What a good time to drink beer, guys. You're home anyway. Might as well drink some beer. Don't get too fat. Don't get too fat, y'all. Montauk Session IPA and Blue Point Toasted Lager. Thumbnail action! Woo! What I'm going to do after I talk about the thumbnail action is I'm going to talk to you a little bit about these beers and kind of what makes them different. Geez, which one do I talk about first? I love them all so much. The Montauk Session is an IPA. The thing I love about this guy is the Montauk Session IPA is very smooth. I mean, there's IPAs out there that really you up in probably the first beer that you're drinking. I like this one because it's a session. Founders also makes one that's very, very similar to this. The alcohol content on this is 4.9, and it doesn't you up so fast. And you can actually sit back and pound a few of these before you feeling up. And it's smooth tasting. It's not too bitter. It's not too sour. It's really, really a smooth, oh man, go get me another one of those IPAs. But, you know, if you're not in the mood for an IPA, because sometimes they're a bit much on the tongue, sometimes they're a little bit much on the stomach. Sometimes, you know, you might not be in the mood for an IPA and you want something a little smoother. Now, let me tell you guys, if you do kind of want an IPA, but you don't want that bitterness, what you should go for is the Sam 76. Now, the Sam 76 actually tastes, I would put it kind of in the category of an IPA, but it's not an IPA. India Pale Ale is what IPA stands for, by the way, y'all. Whoever, you know, whoever's out there watching, my TonesTubers who are out there watching this and don't know much about beer. Sam 76 is a lager. It's not a pale ale. And it's really strange to me because this tastes like an IPA to me. I would say it's a notch down from that bitter, bitter taste. Now, the thing I love about this is it's even smoother than the Montauk IPA. Now, if you want something that has a little bit of bark and bite, these are good ways to go, but they're smooth bark and bite ways to go as it relates to beer. I love my Sam 76. I can drink a few of these pretty quickly. And they're really smooth. They go down nice. Drink one cold, guys. I'm telling you. TonesTube has never let y'all down. If you're trying my products of the day, you do know that TonesTube does not fail. Look at my shirt, y'all. Drink beer. Why not go have one? You know, because what else are you going to do besides watching TonesTube? Now that I'm done talking about my Sam 76, let's talk about Blue Point Toasted Lager. So Blue Point Toasted Lager, for me anyway, is definitely a more smoother way to go when I want to have a beer. Now, as I've gotten older, I've kind of steered a little bit in the direction of not going for craft ales and craft beers as much. Don't get me wrong, I'm a beer connoisseur. I love my beer, so I still do go for the craft breweries, as you guys can probably tell. I love Great South Bay. I love the Oyster Bay Brewery. They make very good beer. Blue Point is also one of my faves. Now, the thing that's amazing about Blue Point is they've been around for quite a long time. And this toasted lager, guys, it's pretty amazing. Prepare for something amazing. Like Sal Vulcano always says on Impractical Jokers. I'll tell you, this Blue Point Toasted, it's a nice, smooth lager. It has a little bit of a, I would say it's a cross between a darker ale and a lighter ale. It's that perfect happy medium, guys. It's got that smooth lager. It's not light like a Heineken, let's say, or a Sapporo, or like a Yangling. It's in the middle, I would say. It's between like a Yangling and a craft darker ale. I think it's that perfect happy medium. It's that perfect medium balance. So toasted lager is a really good way to go. Now, toasted lager actually won a couple of awards in the past when it first came out, and Blue Point has been pretty successful since. Blue Point has been so successful, and I think this is really their flagship beer, that Budweiser actually bought them out. So the good news is, much like Disney did with Marvel and Star Wars, they bought them out, but they kept the recipe. They kept everything going. I mean, it's still definitely a commercial beer now because Budweiser bought them. It's not as underground and as like an underground type style and type brewery. They actually even renovated the Blue Point Brewery. I have not been there. I want to go there. Maybe I can take you guys on a trip there one day, and my TonesTubers, we can experience it together. But anyway, this one is definitely one of my faves. Still a staple in my household, Blue Point Toasted Lager. As you guys can tell, I love my beer. Man, if you're not a beer connoisseur, I am sorry, but I do have something to tell you, because I know if y'all are looking for some kind of food emphasis, then my dude, Paul, he actually has his own YouTube channel. If you guys like that Jamaican style food, I can tell you, this guy don't mess around. His cooking is magnifique. I'm telling you, you gotta try it. He's been making me Jamaican food for years now, and I'm telling you, Paul Lewis, don't mess around. You really should check out the channel. It's called Cooking with Paul, and it's Jamaican style food. I'm telling you, this is a definitely good way to go, especially if you like that little bit of spice in there. We're talking jerk chicken. We're talking escovitch fish, escovitch chicken. We're talking rice and peas, you know, baked fish, you name it. My man Paul makes it, and he shows you how. And he's actually kind of funny too. So y'all should definitely check out his channel. It's called Cooking with Paul. By Paul Greg Lewis. I'm going to leave a link for y'all in the description, and you should definitely check it out. You guys know that TonesTube don't mess around with his food, right? I know that you know that TonesTube don't mess around. So definitely check out that channel and cook some Jamaican food. Now we're up to the portion in the video where we're definitely going to talk about how did I cope with COVID yesterday. One of the ways I coped with COVID yesterday was playing video games. Now, I haven't really talked about video games much in TonesTube, but it's definitely another one of my many hobbies. What I'd like to talk about today is the game Borderlands 3. So Borderlands 3 is the game that I've been playing with my little guy, and his name is Little Antonio. Little, Tony, yo. When me and Antonio play, we play online PS4 steez, and we play Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3. Thumbnail action. This game is explosive. Thumbnail action. The thing I love about this game is you can play it with the younger crowd because it's kind of cartoony. And I think it's like it's kind of like a Call of Duty. I'm not going to say it's a Call of Duty for kids. That's more of like the Plants vs. Zombies steves. This here is more like, it's more adult, definitely driven. It's kind of a comic booky style, and that's kind of what I love about it. It's got that comic book type animation, and you're still running around like a crazy person, shooting beef and stuff like that. It's definitely got a lot of quirky stuff in it, and it's got a lot of humor in it, and it also has a lot of references in it, you know, that are like slang that's used today and things like that. It's so much fun, guys. The big thing with this game is the guns. It constantly makes you want to collect new guns. There's so many different guns. They're all pretty cool guns. You got shotguns, you got pistols, you got submachine guns, you got these shotguns are pretty sick. They got heavy machine guns. You also have bazooka type guns, and you also have elemental guns. All different types of elements are in there. You got electric in there. It's just really cool. So much fun to play. Me and my little guy, we have a ball. We have a blast with it. Last night, we stayed up late night, and we played it, and it's very addicting. It's a very addicting game. Just fun to run around rootin', tootin', and shooting, you know what I mean? So Borderlands 3, y'all, check it out. That's really how I coped with COVID yesterday. I think I had a veggie burger. I'm just trying to kind of keep it healthy. Just having my health shakes during the day, doing some sort of exercise. It's ways to cope, y'all. And all I'm trying to do is help and give y'all some of my ideas. As always, guys, we thank you for watching TonesTube, where we make regular videos for regular people. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you for joining me on episode 8 of the Quarantoning edition. And don't forget, guys, stay safe, stay on the defense, not on the offense. And thank you for watching TonesTube, where we make regular videos for regular people. Have a good one. Hey, just a few tips that I can give you that are prevention tips from the official COVID website, y'all. Take a look and follow these. Thank you for watching TonesTube, where we make regular videos for regular people.